What's up guys, it's Rokta here and welcome to another amazing video on the channel. 377 days since we've last uploaded a update for this deck. This is one of my favorite decks of all time. I'm sure the boys back in Wales or from my university area are going to be ecstatic to finally see me cooking on the Salmon Greats again. This, I think, is a fantastic budget deck for the format. Everything, or pretty much everything, got reprinted in the Soul Burning Volcanoes, meaning that this deck is really cheap if you want to play, even if you include the two Ultra Rares, since they have skyrocketed, or sky decreased, the opposite of skyrocketed, down in price. We had the Raging Phoenix that were around £45 a copy. They are on like 18-20 now. We have the Will, or the Salmon Great of Fires. They were around £20 a copy, and now they are around, what, like 10, 8? Fantastic for the deck, super budget, here to obliterate the format with a fire deck, but not the fire deck, as we are, of course, Rogue tier. If you are new around here, or if you've seen my beautiful face before, make sure that you do smash that subscribe button, leave a comment down below if you love Salmon Greats, and smash that thumbs up button for more amazing content. I've been spamming these deck profiles. Hopefully I can get my packages soon. There will be a video on that, and that gives us around 10 new deck profiles, a bunch of discussion videos and combo guides to showcase, so we are set for another couple of months when that happens. Shout out to Dan. But enough talking. We have a 40 card main deck ready to be shown off to you guys, and let's get straight into the deck profile. So starting off with the deck profile, we're going to go over the Salmon Great monsters first, because we have triple of the best Salmon Great main deck monster that there is. Triple of the Salmon Great Gazelle. Now this card is extremely good. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what he does. He can special summon himself whenever a Salmon Great is sent to the graveyard from your hand, which is fantastic. And on normal or special summon, he's going to be able to send you any Salmon Great card from your deck to your graveyard. Now, considering that this deck has a lot of cards that want to be in the graveyard, you can kind of see why this card is fantastic. He's also a level 3, which comes up as our next 3 of is triple of the Salmon Great Spinny, who's also a level 3. So 1 Gazelle equals a rank 3 play, which Salmon Greats do fortunately have. What does he do? Well, if you control a Salmon Great card, you can discard this card, target 1 face-up monster in the field, and it gains 500 attack until the end of this turn. This effect doesn't really matter too much, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, sometimes it's nice to be able to do that, get over something that you're just slightly under. But for the main effect is, when he is in the graveyard and you control a Salmon Great monster other than himself, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Now remember, if you use this card as a Xyz material for an Xyz summon, he doesn't get banished. He goes straight back to the graveyard, meaning you can use him again in the following turn, which is fantastic. And in a pinch, yes, you can just summon him and then link off, and he will get banished, but you have that extra body available to you for a link summon. For one-offs, actually now, I don't actually play 3 of this card. I only play 1. A lot of people play 3, some people play 2. I play 1 of this card. Let me tell you why. I still prefer the Flame Buffalo or Lady Debug over this. I think this card is okay. I think it cuts you out of doing your Update Jammer or Splash Mage combos into Transcode, Access Code, which is why I don't really like it. You can argue you can play more. I feel this card needed to lock both players into fires, meaning you don't lose to Nibiru. I felt if that card did that, this card would have been the perfect piece of support for Salmon Greats. But unfortunately, it only locks you. But, you know, I still think it's worth playing 1, because you can just special summon it out the deck with the Mirage Dahlia. It's also not a level 3, which makes things a bit awkward too. What does it do? Well, on normal or special, it's going to add you a level 4 or lower Salmon Great monster from your deck to your hand, which is nice. Except you cannot special summon monsters the rest of the turn except fires, meaning it kind of shuts off a lot of your link potential going second, and even going first if you want to go into the Splash Mage Heat Soul line, sorry. Splash Mage Heat Soul line. You can't do that now, because Salmon Great of Fire locks you out of special summoning. It's not like Mirage Stalio, which you can summon them and just not use the effect. This just locks you out of it completely. So, you know, it's a good card, but I don't particularly want to be playing 3 copies of this. This is just my opinion.
It has a second effect, which is at the start of the damage step, if a Cybers monster you control battles, you can banish this card and destroy that monster. This is specifically to trigger your Raging Phoenix, but we don't really need to do that because we have other ways of triggering the Raging Phoenix. For our one-offs, we have the 1 Salamangreat Jack Jaguar. Card's amazing. Love this card. You only need 1 because once it's in the graveyard, it's just going to be consistently recycling itself, putting stuff back into your extra deck or main deck, summoning itself, being a body, being a bit of a nuisance. It does piercing. That comes up sometimes in time situations where they set something. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I've sort of gone over what it does. You just target a Salamangreat monster in your graveyard, accept himself, shuffle that target into the deck, and this can be monsters that go into the extra deck. It does work. Special summon this card to the zone that link monster points to. So fantastic card. For a one-off that actually is not reprinted in the Soul Burning Volcano, hence why I don't have it, is the Salamangreat Falco. I still play this card. This card is probably arguably the weakest Salamangreat now, but it's so good in the grind game that you need to play it. What does it do? Well, it's a level 4 Cyber, so with Jack Jaguar, you can go into Xyz plays if you do wish to play the Dweller or Baguska or whatever. But essentially, when it's in the graveyard, you can target a Salamangreat monster in the field, return it to your hand, or the extra deck, special summon this card. The cool effect is, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Salamangreat spell or trap and reset it to your field. You can't use both effects in the same turn, but this means if you summon Salamangreat Gazelle during your opponent's turn, you send Falco, you can reset one of the traps that you've used to interrupt your opponent, and then have it for your turn again. If that's the counter trap, that basically makes you hand trap proof doing the turn 3 when you're trying to OTK combo line, which is why I really like Falco. For more one-offs, we have the Salamangreat Weasel. It's a tuner, actually, which allows us some cool synchro plays, which I'll showcase when we get to the extra deck. And it just special summons itself, which is fantastic. So if you have 2 or more Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard, which is very, very easy to do, you special summon this card from your hand. And if a Salamangreat Ritual Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link is special summoned to your field, you can summon 1 other Salamangreat monster to your opponent's side of the field, return this card to the bottom of the deck, and draw 1 card. So it's actually pretty useful. And the reason it summons stuff to your opponent's zone is, 1, it can trigger your Sunlight Wolf, which is when a monster special summon to one of its arrows, you're going to be able to grab a fire. But also Mirage Stallion, when it's linked off, is going to be able to target 1 opponent's monsters on one monster your opponent controls and return it to your hand. So you can summon your Gazelle, trigger your Wolf, add something, link off Wolf and Mirage Stallion, for example, into whatever, trigger the Mirage Stallion, grab back Gazelle to your hand. Fantastic card, and you may read it at first and be like, damn, that's not very good. This card is cracked. It's fantastic. And we have the 1 Salamangreat Foxy, down to 1 again. It's very good, but you only need 1. When this card is normal summoned, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 excavated Salamangreat card to your hand. It's really cool when you hit circle off this effect. Shuffle the rest into the deck. Or you can, if this card is in the graveyard and there's a face-up spell trap on the field, which you can do because you'll always be able to search your field spell, discard a Salamangreat card, special summon this card, and destroy 1 spell or trap on the field. That is all in one effect, meaning you could outskill Drain, for example, which is fantastic. Annoying stuff like, I don't know, if there is a There Can Be and you don't control anything else, you can Foxy summon, pop There Can Be. It's really, really good. So we need to play it for that reason. Again, you can only do each effect once. You can't do both in the same turn. You've got to pick which effect you want, which is annoying, but it's pretty good anyways. Moving on to the spells. Triple Salamangreat Circle cards at 3 now. Fantastic card. Just a quick effect. Rota. Add a Salamangreat from your monster to your deck. Add 1 Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand. Or if you already have everything, you can just play through Nibiru. So they Nibiru, chain this, target 1 Salamangreat Link monster you control. It is unaffected by monster effects this turn except its own, which is amazing. Love this card. Definitely want to be playing 3 to help with consistency. We have 1 Will of the Salamangreat. This is your Soul Charge or Monster Reborn. I say either or because you get to pick, really. During the main phase, special summon a Salamangreat monster from your hand or graveyard. That doesn't target either, which is fantastic. Or you can send this face-up card from the field to the grave. Target a Salamangreat Linger monster that was relink summoned. Special summon Salamangreat monsters from your hand or graveyard in defense position up to the number of that monster's link rating, which is essentially Soul Charge. If you go Raging Phoenix, link into Raging Phoenix, search Will, activate Will, send Will to grave, Soul Charge 4 Salamangreats back, continue playing. Absolutely fantastic card. 1 Salamangreat Sanctuary. We have to play this card. It's a engine requirement. It is searchable off the Link 1, which is why we only play one copy. You never want to draw this because you want to chain block with your Link 1 in most cases. So, yeah, but the cards are very good. Even though it's like the worst card, it's like the brick in the deck, you can say, it serves its purpose very, very well. It allows you to just essentially link a Salamangreat Link monster with its own name as the full material. So Raging Phoenix, even though it's a Link 4, you can use it as the whole material to go into another Raging Phoenix, which is amazing. It also has some life point shenanigans that can happen during the battle phase, but honestly, that effect comes up maybe 1 in 100 games. It's really rare. You pay 1,000 life points, reduce the attack of a Link monster you control to 0, and gain life points equal to its original attack. So, for example, if you've attacked with your Raging Phoenix, you can attack with something else, pay 1,000, target Raging Phoenix, make it permanently 0, but gain 2,800, meaning you gain 1,800 life points. So that could come up in very, very random scenarios, which is why I stress it never really does come up. For the traps, 1 Rage, 1 Roar. That's all you need. Highly searchable. Send them to grave. Grab them back with Wolf. They're very, very accessible, but they are needed to play. They're very, very nice. Roar is a Omni Negate if you control a Salamangreat Link monster, and when it's in the graveyard, it can reset itself if you relink into a monster with the same name, but then it would get banished when it leaves the field. So that's why we have the Falco in there to just constantly reset this and be able to just negate things. And the Rage is really good in tandem with the Raging Phoenix because it has 2 effects. You can send a Salamangreat monster from your hand or face-up field to the grave, target 1 card in the field, destroy it. That's very good because, as I said, your Salamangreats gain advantage in the grave. Also, if this is set and you don't use it during your turn, you can actually dodge hand traps with that if they want to Veiler like a Gazelle, for example, which is very cool. Or you can target a Salamangreat Link monster you control that was Link summoned using its name as material. Destroy cards your opponent controls up to that Link monster's rating. Meaning, if you go Raging Phoenix into Raging Phoenix, since this is a Link 4, you pop 4 cards on the field. You go 4 for 1. And it doesn't get banished either. Like, you just constantly reset Roar and go 4 for 1. Absolutely insane card. Fantastic. This is the engine I play for the Salamangreats. It's a decent size, but it gets the job done. Deck is very versatile, can handle pretty much any situation you throw it into. It's really, really good deck. Very splashable as well, if you don't play many of the Salamangreat Fires. For the starter, I apologize for the proxies, we have triple of the Flame Buffalo. Card works so well with Salamangreats, it should just be called Salamangreat Buffalo, but they already have that, and it's not very good. This is the Buffalo I respect. Flame Buffalo. It's a Cybus level 3, so again, can be used for Xyz plays in a pinch. It's a Fire, which comes up, meaning you can recycle it with Wolf. It's a Cybus, meaning you can search it with Signet Mining as well. And what it does is, if this face-up card leaves the field, discard a Cybus monster and draw 2 cards. If you haven't realized why that is insanely good, you link it off into your Link 1, which is your Salamangreat Balinks. Chain block the effect with the Balinks effect to add. So you pitch, for example, any Salamangreat that wants advantage in the graveyard. Spinny, Jack Jaguar. You can even put Foxy. It doesn't matter what. Draw 2 cards after you get your field spell. So you can't draw into the field spell either. Fantastic card. 3 of, don't want to hear it. If you don't want to play Flame Buffalo, play triple Lady Debug instead. Lady Debug essentially on summon allows you to add a level 3 or lower Cybus monster. However, it is a light, meaning you cannot recycle it with Wolf, unlike Buffalo. Speaking of, well, that's it for the monsters for now. Speaking of spell cards, Signet Mining, triple of it. You send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, add 1 level 4 lower Cybus monster from your deck to your hand. Just another rotor. You pitch a card, which, yes, that's for cost, so if they ash you, they go 2 for 1. But remember, the stuff you're going to be pitching to the graveyard, for the most part, wants to be there. You can send your traps, for example, to the graveyard if you draw them, and then pick them back up with a Wolf later. There's just loads of things you can pitch for free. This card is very, very free. We have triple of the Crossout Designator. While there is, the running meme, or the running gag, that Salamangreat lose to Nibiru, you have to play around Nibiru in a certain way if you don't want to lose, which opens you up to basically every other hand trap. So in order to avoid that, I'm just playing triple Crossout Designator. If I open Crossout, I can just not respect Nib, play through other hand traps. Salamangreat is a deck where if you open the right hands, your opponent's hand traps don't feel like they do much unless it's either Dimensional Shifter or Nibiru, which is why you got to play cross out, so at least you have protection from the Nibiru. I play one triple tactic talent. This could be called by if you really want to respect hand traps. I prefer the talents because, as I said, Salamangreat can play through a decent amount of hand traps with pretty much any hand. You can always play through one, sometimes even two. But if you have the talent, you're just able to look at the hand. And when you look at the hand, you just win the game. The hand effect is so good. It is by far the best one. You look at their hand, you see exactly what they have. Get rid of anything that they need, or even a Nibiru, and just play. And you know exactly what to make, exactly what to expect, because you've just looked at their hand, which is incredible. Going on to the hand traps, triple Ash Blossom. Not only did this come in the original Salamangreat structure deck, but it's also a fire, meaning once you see one Ash Blossom, you see an Ash every single turn, because you can just loop them constantly with Wolf. And while Wolf says you cannot summon the card you add back with its effect for the whole turn, you can use its effects. And thankfully Ash Blossom has a hand effect, which I'm sure you're all very aware of. We have triple Nibiru. Not only is a good hand trap, but he's also obviously cross-out designator target. So allows us to play through Nibiru if we see cross-out, and if we open Nibiru, we just punish our opponent and then win the game, because Nibiru is just one of those hand traps that if you don't play around it and you get hit by it, you pretty much just lose the game unless you have a really good hand and can extend further. Triple Effect Veiler, non-once per turn effect negation. Yes, please. Stuff like Snake Eyes and Yubel, you need multiple of these to be able to stop them, and that's exactly why I play that. And exactly why I also play triple of the Infinite Impermanence as well. Non-once per turn, effect negation, no. It's not like Ash Blossom that stops that one effect from doing the summoning from the deck. Effect Veiler and Imperm stop the whole effect. If it has 4 effects, they're all stopped with Imperm, which is fantastic. So yeah, really, really good. Imperm is the best one to draw off the top, obviously, because you can immediately use it, trade 1 for 1, and then start playing. So that is it. That is the main deck. That is 40 cards. Let's now move on into the extra deck. Starting off with the extra deck, let's start off with the Salamangreat cards first. Double of the Salamangreat Raging Phoenix. I only have 1 copy at the moment, so I apologize. Amazing card. It's actually a sort of retrain of the Pyro Phoenix, but the Pyro Phoenix isn't that good, sadly, but the Raging Phoenix is very good. So it takes 2+ fire effect monsters, which is very handy because it's generic in a way. If this card is link summoned using Raging Phoenix as material, you can add 1 Salamangreat card from your deck to your hand. Any card, you just add it straight to your hand, and this is like your end board piece. Add your Salamangreat of Rage. That allows you to pop 4 cards during your opponent's turn, so really good. If a face-up fire monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in the graveyard, you can target one of those monsters, special summon this card, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to that monster's attack. So I'm sure you're familiar with this in the Snake Eyes OTK lines, which is the Heater into the Princess, into the Phoenix, into the whatever that card's called. I forgot, completely forgot now. Let me look quickly. The World Sea Dragons, the Atlantis, of course. And so what you do is you summon this if you're going second, and then you summon the World Sea Dragons, the Atlantis, triggers your Promethean Princess, and that triggers your Raging Phoenix too after the Princess has summoned, because it does pop a card, obviously. And you'll be popping one of your fires and 1 card your opponent controls. Trigger the Raging Phoenix, it would summon itself. And with the Atlantis, Promethean Princess, and a Raging Phoenix, that is OTK, which is absolutely fantastic. We have, for the Link 2s of the Salamangreat anyway, 2 Sunlight Wolf. Shout out to opening a pack every day until we pull a ghost. We finally got the ghost, and now I can use it in the deck profile. It is fantastic. 2 Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. Card is one of the best Link 2s I think I've seen. I know SP is a thing, and SP is better, but this card is so good for Salamangreat. It takes 2 fire effect monsters to make. If a monster is normal or specialed to a zone this card points to, you add a fire from your graveyard to your hand. That doesn't target, by the way, so you can add back anything. If they DD Crow something, you can just add something else, which is fantastic. You cannot summon it for the rest of the turn, but as I said, if you pick up an Ash, you can immediately use it, so that's amazing. During the main phase, if you control this card that was link summoned using itself, you can add 1 Salamangreat spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand, and that's every single turn. It's fantastic. This card is how you win games. You win grind games just through this card. You may think, oh, why aren't you playing 3? We play remember the Jack Jaguar is able to put back anything we need back into the extra deck, so if we summon 1 and we summon the 2nd and then we realize, damn, for whatever reason, we need to summon the 3rd, we can put this wolf back and then just put it over this wolf again. So fantastic synergy there with the Jack Jaguar. For the Link 1s, triple of these Salamangreat Balinks. Used to be at 3. I played this card for 3 for a long time. I'm playing 2 now because I feel like, yes, the battle or card effect destruction is good. A lot of decks now, they just don't target or they don't destroy, they send, and there's just a lot of shenanigans that gets through Balinks. But it's nice to have, and obviously this is our Field Spell Searcher. It takes any level 4 lower Cyberse monster, and then you add a Salamangreat Sanctuary from your deck to your hand on Link Summon. Allows you to chain block with your Flame Buffalo, as I said. Summon Buffalo, link it off. Balinks, you go chain link 1 Buffalo, chain link 2 Balinks. Balinks had Field Spell, Buffalo pitch, a Cyberse card, draw 2. Fantastic combo. Obviously, as well, it gives you the destruction protection. So if it's in the grave and a Salamangreat card you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, banish this card instead. Doesn't activate, it's more of like a replacement effect. Can work under call by the grave, funnily enough. And for the XCs I've been hammering on about all video, we have the Salamangreat Mirage Stalio. Cards, really good. Just a free summon from the deck. 2 level 3 monsters. Detach 1 material from this card. Special summon 1 Salamangreat monster from your deck in defense. Also, you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of the turn except fires. It does let you summon non-fires. Just keep that in mind. And if this XC's card is sent to the graveyard as material for the link summon of a Salamangreat, you can target 1 monster on the field and return it to your hand. So going second, this helps just break boards. Going first, this works in tandem with the Salamangreat Weasel, being able to grab back to your hand whatever you summon to their field. For the generic links, World Sea Dragon, you put this over your Pyro Phoenixes. It just helps you go for game a lot, to be honest with you. That's why we play it. We have the 1 access code. Remember, we still have the access code, which is like the king of the Cyberse monsters. We still play it, and it's still very, very good. We play the 1 transcode, which just turbos into access code. I like having this line still available, to be honest with you, which is why I play it. We have, again, apologize to Proxy, I think I've said it loud in like 4 videos, the Promethean Princess is on the way. If not, Dan can vouch for me, but it just hasn't arrived yet. Promethean Princess, custom card essentially for fire decks, custom card for Salamangreat. Generic, anything, any 3 monsters or any 2 monsters, a link 2 and a link 1, can go into the Promethean Princess, and then obviously summons a fire, and then Promethean Princess and that fire make your Pyro Phoenix, which is fantastic. Acts as disruption as well, and it just never gets banished. Banish isn't mentioned on its card, which is amazing. Constantly just recycle and put back into the grave your Promethean Princess. SP Little Knight. You don't need to play it. As I said, this deck is extremely budget. If you're a budget player, you can replace this. Just put something completely different in, maybe a Nightmare Phoenix or a Nightmare Cerberus. I know this card is expensive. I really wish it wasn't. Hopefully, soon it won't be expensive and everyone can have it. And as I said, if you're building this as a budget variant, just cut out the SP. It's very good, but again, it's not needed. It's just very nice to have. We have, this is the debate. We have the Splash Mage. Splash Mage could be the Update Jammer. Update Jammer allows your access code line to be extremely, extremely good, being lethal on its own. Splash Mage allows you to make your Promethean Princess more often if you get hand trapped, which is why I am playing the Splash Mage in this variant, but you could easily change it to the Update Jammer. I swap them out constantly. I'm not sure which one's better. I'm just showcasing the Splash Mage in this video. 1 heater, again, 2 monsters including a fire, take their Ash Blossom, climb into Promethean, Promethean summon a fire, can even be heater, link both into your Raging Phoenix, relink your Raging Phoenix into Raging Phoenix, search any Salamangreat card. Do I need to say more? No, I don't. And for the last card, we actually have the Spice, which is a Synchro. Arguably, you can just cut this and play the Update Jammer, so you won't have to pick. You can also play the Heat Soul as well, if you really wanted. I'm playing this Synchro. What is it? It's Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Synchro. It is amazing. I don't actually own the card, so I'm going off memory, but you guys will see it on the screen because Rogue Tier is very nice in editing. I believe it's a level 6, and that's fine because Weasel is a level 3, and we have a bunch of level 3 Salamangreats in the deck. So you summon Weasel. These are in the hands where you get hand trapped a lot, or you just don't have enough gas. You search Weasel, or if you have Weasel, summon a level 3 Salamangreat, summon Weasel, synchro into this. This special summons, I believe it's a level 3 or lower fire monster from your deck. So, fantastic card. Really, really helps. And not a lot of people know what it does. Not a lot of people know you have this line available. So they just, oh yeah, Vela, Ash, Vela, or Imperm. All right. You're basically forced to make this, summon Gazelle, Gazelle send, continue playing. This is like a really, really good card to have. So that is the end of the Salmon Great deck profile. I hope you guys did enjoy. I apologize for the proxies, guys. I have all these cards arriving. They're from the UK. I'm obviously not located in the UK, so they do take a little bit of time.